All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. And it is now time for coding with Unity. And we've got Mr. Seaborn, who's joining us again. Hello, Seaborn. How are you?
Hello, good. Yeah,
So just give
good.
a quick recap of where we were last week. And then I'm going to show our audience something that is
All right, yeah,
inspiring
so
the topic this week.
last week we had the balloon would pop, deploy parachute, and I think we did wind and some rain effects, and I think that's all we had.
Right. So then Adeline and I and you, we were talking afterwards, right? Just chewing the fat as we do.
Hmm.
And it got us talking about one of our weather balloon launches. And actually the balloon ended up in a big thunderstorm cloud. So it got us talking about, well, can you add these effects to Unity? And your answer was yes. And so I'm going to share my screen here. And I'm going to show you one of the uh, camera views of the fourth weather balloon launch from last summer. And Jayla, you'll remember this because you were on that on this mission, right? So here it is. This was launched from Lake Waccamaw, and you can see it's quite humid. There's a lot of thunderstorm clouds around, and it's about to enter a really, really strong thunderstorm cloud. So it's time lapse. It's very jittery because the thing is being flown around. You can see the camera currently is looking up at the sun, and the balloon just burst because of the wind shear. And at one point there, you can actually make out raindrops actually horizontal with the ground, just to show you how strong the wind can get and the strength of these thunderstorm clouds, right? So there we go. See that little, there was a little streak at the top of the screen. That was actually a rain droplet. So it just also shows you how fast the those rain droplets are falling as well from great height. So I believe we have a treat today because Seaborn, you have actually been working on adding thunderstorm clouds and lightning and things like that to the weather balloon simulation. This is correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, you said the balloon just burst due to high winds. There is a thing where I could make that happen with just enough force in any direction could destroy the balloon.
That would be awesome. Yes. All right. So see, this is how science works, right? And what you're doing here is a computer simulation, which is a type of model, right? And you know, we see this with the coronavirus currently. There are computer models out there trying to simulate different situations and seeing how different counties and cities are going to manage the pandemic, right? So what you're essentially doing here is a computer model, which is pretty cool. All right, so go for it. You can share your screen, and then if
All
anyone
right.
has a question, I think today what we can do is just unmute your microphone and go for it. Sound good?
Okay. So here's our cloud with lightning. Let me just move this out into more of an open area. And I have a lot of lightning so you can see what it looks like. And you'll see there's like a little bubble at the end of each thing of lightning. That's the lightning's hitbox. So it, hitting this back part of the lightning won't affect your balloon, but it has to go down and hit the balloon. So that circle part detects whether or not the balloon's been hit. So we'll be able to see if we put it in here. And I also zoomed out so you could see a bit better. But the balloon already has been struck. And it gets struck a lot sometimes. And it comes back down. So it's pretty simple to make this. We'll be able to see it a bit better if we make less lightning. This is a more realistic lightning thing, but you can see.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
It looks pretty good, and so we can replicate this pretty quickly. We'll just have to go add effects, particle system. Then we're gonna turn this, wait, no, we're gonna go shape and make it box.
So what are you doing here currently? So walk us through this. The particle effect is, this is
Yeah,
just
so
a balloon.
it's gonna shoot these little particles out of this box. We're gonna be making the lightning effect. And it's just gonna shoot a bunch of these little dots out. And we're gonna make them go at, instead of going at a speed of 5, we'll make them go at a speed of 200. And then give them a lifetime of 0.4. So they're only gonna go this far. And then to add the actual lightning, I'm gonna go here, change that to just be a cube, and then I'll make that like that. So then for lightning, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give these trails. So you can already see it kind of just looks like a line right now. And so and make these trails more, they have like a curve. I forget where that is. Where is it? Lifetime ratio. There, yeah. So width over trail is gonna go, we're gonna make it go down like this so that it kind of looks like a spike. And we're also gonna hide the front of the little, we'll hide the front cube. Then we'll give it some, instead of it going straight, we'll make it go kind of randomly to the side by adding noise. And we'll make that stronger. And it already kind of looks like lightning at this
Yes, it
point.
does.
You can make that stronger and have some really cool effects. And it's a bit curvy. We want it to be more jagged, so we'll put a minimum jagged. And then all we have to do is we can color it, which will just make it yellow. And there's pretty much lightning. It won't really
cool.
be able to collide with anything, but
So, and it's right. So you're going to turn it upside down. So it's actually going there.
yeah.
And how do you adjust the frequency? Because lightning is like, it's not going constantly like this now. So how can you adjust the
frequency, we can go to emission, and it says rate over time. That'll be 10 per second. We can go down to put this 1. So it'll do 1 bolt of lightning every second. And then you can also add in bursts. So you can make it like every 5 seconds, it'll shoot out 30. And
That's
then
pretty cool.
we can also add collisions to make it hit stuff. And it'll just bounce off right now. You'll be able to see it better if I go to like that, see? And then I'm just gonna remove that. So you'll see it'll bounce off, and we can show this a bit better. If we go like that. That's not really how lightning would work, but it looks pretty cool. So
It certainly does. You know, I would encourage also everyone to go back and look at the video from Steve Paff from the Weather Service. He spoke a lot about lightning and thunderstorms and in that presentation. And one of the things that amazed me was lightning is hotter. A lightning bolt is hotter than the surface of the sun in terms of temperature. Of course, it's very quick and random, but it's just amazing the amount of energy in a lightning bolt.
some other things that aren't really as related to lightning is that you can put in some pretty cool color gradient effects where we can go like this and then like that, and you have a pretty cool looking effect from the lightning. And you can also, for the tail of this, it's got a curve. So in the middle, right now I made it so the middle is the widest part of the lightning. You can make it so like the tail is the widest part of the lightning, and that'll make it more lightning-y, it'll seem more like lightning. And the particle system off. How do I wait? No, I can't. The thing keeps getting in the way. The zoom thing. How do I get rid of that?
I think you can just pull that to the side.
Yeah,
We're not
okay.
seeing that, of course, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's got a lot of different little things you can add. You can add external forces like wind zones that affect the lightning. This isn't something you'd use for lightning, but for other stuff you could use it. Rotation by speed, rotation over lifetime, color by speed, force over lifetime, velocities, all kinds of stuff like that. Then you can also add sub-emitters, which would be that once this lightning hits something, it would make a different effect, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so for instance, a spark, right? So if lightning would hit a tree, right, which I think we made a tree in the very first.
Yeah, I have a tree model right here.
Yeah, so if you stuck a tree there, let's see if we can get some sparks going from the tree. That would be cool.
Might make this tree a bit bigger. There. And then make it less blurry. And this is a pretty ugly looking tree anyway. Let's just name it tree, then give it a box collider. So now we have our tree. And then let's make a spark effect. What we'll do is we'll go to effects, particle system. And then we're gonna want it to go in a shape of a sphere, so it'll kind of go outward. And then instead of it going over time, we're just gonna give it a burst effect, so it'll go like that. Give the particles gravity, so they'll go down. Give them a color.
That's exactly how it looks too. When it hits, I've had a lightning bolt hit a tree outside a house in Alabama. That's exactly how it looks.
And then let's give it a bit of a random color and make it square. And so now let's also give them size that's kind of random. I'll do, sparks are pretty small, so we'll want like 0.1 to 0.2. And then to make it kind of look like real sparks, we're going to add trails. They're going to be pink right now. That means it's missing a material. So now it already kind of looks like sparks. We'll turn the lifetime down. I think 0.4 would be good. Should be a way. Let's do this. No, like 0.2. So that's already looking. That already looks like sparks. They're kind of wide though, so I'm just gonna make that a bit smaller.
It looks brilliant. It really does.
Yeah.
I guess the next step is after the sparks, can you start a fire in the tree? I know this is kind of off topic from a weather balloon, but this is pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. We could do that. Yeah, I think we'd use animations for that. And
we'll save that for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Save that for some other time. Yes.
Yeah, and then we can also give this a collider so that the sparks bounce off of stuff like that.
Excuse me. Sorry to interrupt, but Angie put in the chat, what did that tree do to you, Dr. Rock?
Well, it was right outside the kitchen window, and I just happened to be very close to the window, and it was the loudest thing I've ever heard, and it scared me. So that particular tree, yes, that's what it did to me.
should be able. Yeah, there. So we should be able to see the sparks. Ah, they're way, okay. They're just too far away from the camera. Yeah, so you'll see them kind of bounce off of stuff. And so let's just rename this to spark effect. Spark effect. And then we need this to be called, we're going to turn this into a prefab, meaning I can create it from anywhere. And I have some code for that we'll look at. And just wait for this to load. So this is the code that detects if the lightning hits the balloon.
So this is a good example of adapting code, right? It doesn't matter if it's a balloon, a bird, a tree in this case, right? You can adapt the code to do the function. Yes.
Yeah. So what we see here is we have our particle system, which is the lightning. This doesn't actually do anything anymore. I just had that in earlier. And then the transform of our balloon, which means the position of the balloon. And then this void is a special void that is created using the Unity engine has it. It's on particle collision. So it detects whether or not a particle has collided. And can collide with. It'll go to the balloon script and call and tell it to pop and release the parachute. Then I also made it so you can press A to emit a bunch of lightning to show the popping. So what we'll do here, we'll add a public game object, and we'll just call it spark. Spell spark. And then we'll just make it so when it hits something, it'll instantiate. I need to go back to here to see how to spell instantiate. I can never remember how to spell it. I'm just gonna copy this and then change it because I can't remember how to spell that. So it'll create the spark at the same transform as where the. So this should work. Let's see. We just have to go into our. Wait a second. Yeah. Just go to our lightning and then add the spark in here. And then we should see this work. It did not. Oh, okay. That's weird. It decided that it wanted to make the spark like up here, I guess. I guess it's not going to do it now, but I'm just going to make this wider, drag this to the side, and then it creates a spark on top of the cloud, which is not what we want. It's very laggy. So what we'll do instead is we'll make it says transform. So what we want is balloon. We have the transform in the balloon already. It's just ball for short. But we just put balloon.transform.position, and now it should have sparks come out from the balloon. You can see this here, hopefully. It did work, yes, okay.
Yes, it did work.
And it keeps emitting sparks after they've been hit because I accidentally put this onto looping. So let's just turn that off and then make it so it destroys the particles, the system, when it's done. So now we should hopefully, yep, there we go. So now we have the sparks.
That's really neat. Does anyone have any comments on that? Any questions? I have one thing, Seaborn. So yeah. Usually a cloud itself, the whole thing will kind of flash. Can you add a flashing effect? So when the lightning is emitted from the from the cloud itself will kind of flash quickly like a light bulb going quickly on and off. Can you do that?
Yeah, there's a couple ways we can do this. We can put in lighting systems and do it like that. We could use animations, or we could color the cloud lighter. So which way do you think would be the best?
Color the cloud lighter.
Color the cloud lighter.
Yes.
All right. So what we'll have to do here is we'll have to have thing for, let's get rid of this second lightning. We'll go into our particle launcher for our lightning script. We'll make it so that, well, every frame actually. Is here, I think if I do 0.1, hopefully that'll make it emit less particles a frame. I don't think that'll work though. No, it won't. Okay, so it'll emit 1 particle a frame, I guess, and then we don't want it to do 1 a frame though. We want it to do 1 a second. So what we'll do here is Unity doesn't have a delay function, so we have to create our own delay. So we do public float. We'll call it start time, and then another public float. Let's call it time or timer time. So what'll happen here is it'll only emit these particles if our timer time is, I think it's, what is it? It's, yeah, if it's less than equal to or less than 0, and then if it's not, it'll subtract timer time by time dot delta time. So what'll happen here is that if our time is equal to 0, it'll launch the particles. Otherwise, it'll subtract the time by time, which is a built-in Unity function, dot delta time. And what delta time does is makes it so if you have a faster computer, time will actually go faster, and we don't want that. So we want it to be a constant, and we want timer time to be equal to start time. We also need to make timer time private. And this should work.
And it's probably also a good time to mention that, just like other codes, that you shouldn't name a variable, a new variable that you're trying to create, something that is already built into Unity or Python or whatever code that you're using, correct?
Yeah, that's why I name it timer time instead of just time. And now we see it will emit 1 every second. Now that was an overcomplicated solution for that, because we can just put that in here, but if we want to make it flash, we need to detect every single time it emits. So now what we do is there's a color function. I think I have it written somewhere. Let me just check. Let's see.
And do you write this down physically, or do you type it on?
Some of it physically and some of it in my phone.
Yes.
So let me see. It's like, it's okay. So we'll have to go like this. We'll make a void start, which means I barely use color, so I had to look some of this up, but because normally I just use animations. We'll make a start. So on the first frame of the scene, it'll do this. we'll make a color called new color. We'll just call this default color. And then make it equal to new color. And then these are the RBG values. So we'll just do, the default would be like 0.3, 0.3, and this should make a gray, I think.
So explain, does it range between 0 and 255? Or how does it work in Unity with the
I think it's
RGB?
0 to 1 on this.
Okay.
I'm gonna look it up now. Unity.
So the idea is that if you combine red, green, and blue, which is the RGB, and you combine those at full strength together, you're going to create white light, right?
Yes.
So if it is 0 to 1, if you want white, it's going to be 1, 1, 1. If you want black, it's going to be 0, 0, 0. If you want red, it's going to be 1, 0, 0, right? Or
Yeah.
some value between 0 and 1 for the red function.
Okay. Yeah. So I think there's a better way to do this is that we get our balloon object. We'll just make a new thing. Public game object balloon. We'll just call it balloon 2 because there's already a balloon somewhere. And then we'll go under void start, we'll go game object component, then render and then we'll go take its material dot color, then we'll set it equal to a new color, which would be, this color would be, we'll just set it, so we have actually not 3 but 4 values. There's red, blue, green, and then the alpha, which is the transparency value. So I'm just gonna copy this, put it in here, and then for alpha, now hopefully this will work. Let's see, and this is just a test to see whether or not we can change color on anything. So we'll take our balloon, and it did not want to change color. Okay. So
who on the lesson today thinks that Sibon is a superstar when it comes to Unity? It's just amazing, I think, anyway.
And I think it would be more like balloon balloon render might work better. I'm not sure if that works. Okay. Okay. Gonna be able to do this that easily. So a better way that we can do this is we're gonna add lighting into the scene. So how we do that is Unity by default in 2D does not have any lighting system. So we're gonna have to add that. How do I move this thing at the top left? It doesn't want to move. Can I? It's fine. We go to edit. There's window. Yeah, window package manager. So these are all the packages in Unity. So there's all kinds of things like tile map editor, adaptive performance, all this stuff. You can import advertisements, all this stuff that you would want in your game. One of them that's really cool is Cinemachine. This is one that gives you really advanced camera options. Really advanced camera options for your cameras, yeah. Scott asked me, can I add
packages that
Thunder?
are included with Unity, C1?
Yes, these are all included with Unity. So Scott asked actually to add Thunder, so that would be pretty easy. We're just gonna go download a Thunder effect. Thunder sound effect download. And then let's see if we can just get, that sounds fine. So we'll download that, put it in here. Then let's just move packages to here for now. So our Thunder is right here, and you can play it in the scene. And then all we have to do is add this Thunder effect. Is we'll just make it whenever lightning. We can make it whenever the spark plays. So
technically, what occurs first, everyone? Lightning or thunder?
Lightning.
Lightning comes first, right? So if we were accurate with this, we would put the thunder a little bit after the lightning. But for today, let's just add the object to the cloud. That'll be fine.
Yeah. So we'll just put in an audio clip here, and it'll play. We'll just make it play whenever the sparks come out. So it's going to take a second, and then hopefully the balloon gets hit. The balloon did not get hit. Let's try that again. Hopefully it gets hit this time, though. It didn't even play audio on. Okay, that's why. Yeah, you could hear it there. So let's see. Now the audio is on. Now hopefully it gets hit. It did not get hit. I'm just gonna wait. No, I can't even do that. I can't. I removed the thing where I could make a lot of thunder. There you go.
That's awesome.
So
I think never had a chance. It got about 6 feet off the ground and got hit.
Yeah. So sounds are pretty simple to add in. There's a lot more stuff you can do with sound effects, but I don't really work with them that much. So back here, we're gonna go to, I'm pretty sure it's like render pipeline or something. Lightweight render pipeline is what we're adding. This is what's gonna give us our lighting. So we're gonna click install. It's just gonna load.
What does the word render mean? This one is always a tricky one for me to explain too. So do you want to have a crack at it, Sibon?
Okay, so render. To render something as a verb would be to like show it, to kind of show it on a screen or something. To render an object would be to kind of make it appear, make it visible, I guess.
Right. I think that's a good explanation, because you can create an object, but you've still got to tell it to show on the screen, right? It can exist behind the screen in some layer, but until you render that object, you're not going to see it, or the effect is not going to be seen at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is going to take a minute.
This is where we ask for knock jokes. Anyone? Angie?
Yeah.
Good jokes?
Alexa.
Yeah, we could ask Alexa. Come on, Angie. We've still got a good 30 seconds here of downloading.
I don't know.
call bears without ears?
What do you call bears without ears?
Yeah.
Buh, yeah.
Buh.
Why do you tell an actor to break a leg?
Battle axe.
No, because every play has a cast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's worse, the bear joke or the actor joke. That's good. See, look, we've killed the 30 seconds that we need.
Yeah.
I invented a new word, plagiarism.
That's very good, Scott.
Okay. Just ignore that. I don't care. Ignore. Okay, great. It doesn't want me to ignore it. It's ignore. Thank you. Okay, now we have our lightweight render pipeline installed. So what we're gonna do is wait. It's still gonna lag a bit. Still got some time to kill, I guess.
Let me ask you, Seaborn, how much time a day do you like practice your Unity coding and stuff?
It depends if I'm working on a project. We're gonna go under create, rendering, lightweight render pipeline, and 2D render. And it's gonna take a second. We'll just leave it at its default name. And then we will go under our project settings, and then should be an option somewhere for render pipeline. It might be, let's see. If anyone sees it, tell me. Oh, I think it's under here. What? Where is it?
It disappeared.
Graphics there.
There.
Render pipeline asset. We'll import. Oh yeah, you can't even import that. You need to go under then pipeline asset, I think. Then you need to take this and go under something. You make it way too complicated. Let me see. Let me just look at something. Yeah. Need to make this custom and then put in 2D render data. Then we can put that back. So nothing's gonna happen right now. So there's a way we have to give everything the property. We have to give everything the lighting property. So there should be a way, I think it's under material. It's like sprites default lit. Okay, that doesn't exist yet. We'll have to, let me see.
So whose idea was it to do the flash?
Yeah,
My famous last words.
yeah.
What we could do here, Simon, because we should probably wrap it up, is this is probably something that you could work on and then show everyone next time.
Okay, yeah.
If that works.
So actually, yeah, but what we'll see here is when we drag in a new sprite, it's completely black, which means it's not been lit. So there's a way, it's just gonna take like 1 second. Yeah, so you just go edit, render pipeline, lightweight render pipeline, upgrade project materials to the render pipeline materials. Oh wait, that's the 3D one. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up. 2D render, upgrade scene to this. And now everything is unlit. Everything is black because there's no lighting. So we can go under the balloon, right click it, and we can add a light, a 2D, we'll just give it a point light. but it has been lit. So we'll just make that bigger. It's like a little spotlight that you can see around it, and then we can make it kind of fade.
I see. That's pretty cool. Well, cool.
It's only, oh,
There was thunder.
yes.
I guess the lesson is do not launch the weather balloon in a thunderstorm.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's about it for 2D lighting. They make it really complicated because Unity was originally meant for 3D. So, and then also the resume and pause are unlit. I do like that thunder effect though.
That thunder effect is brilliant. That's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
But whenever it shot out lightning, the cloud would, I'd give it, what we can do is give it, it's a sprite light. We can just add it under here. And this with sprite would just be our cloud, so what would happen is it would just go in intensity from 0 to 1 every time it would illuminate.
Ah, that's very cool. Yeah. Well, excellent.
Yeah.
So Seaborn, that's brilliant. There's some good stuff there, my friend. What do we have to do moving forward? Does anyone have any suggestions?
I think for the 2D weather balloon, we're pretty much finished. We might be able to move on to the 3D one.
I like this idea a lot. Maybe we could work on graphics of the parachute.
Yeah.
But I think we're at a point where we can start working on the 3D effect because I think most of the basics are there.
Yeah.
Very good.
3D will be cool because we get to work with all the different physics.
Yeah, this is cool. And you can import weather maps and things like that. So yeah, this is going to be dynamite. Good. Well, thanks again, Seaborn. And then I guess we will pick it up on Tuesday next week.
Okay.
All right. Good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah.